The story I'm about to tell you might disturb you, but it needs to be heard. It began in the autumn of 2022, when 17-year-old Madison Chen disappeared from her prestigious private school in New England. What investigators uncovered was far more sinister than anyone could have imagined. Madison was a typical affluent teenager, designer clothes, latest iPhone, and an Instagram following that would make most influencers jealous. But beneath the perfectly curated social media presence lay a desperate need for validation that would ultimately lead her down a dangerous path. It started with an anonymous direct message. A promise of exclusive modeling opportunities, fame, and money, lots of it. The kind of opportunity that makes teenage hearts race and common sense fade away. The sender claimed to represent an underground talent agency that specialized in discovering diamond-in-the-rough beauty queens. The investigation revealed that Madison wasn't alone. Dozens of girls from elite schools across the country had been receiving similar messages. They were invited to participate in what was described as an exclusive underground beauty pageant circuit, one that operated entirely through the dark web. The competitions weren't your typical beauty pageants. There were no proud parents in the audience, no bright lights, no legitimate judges. Instead, hidden cameras, anonymous viewers, and increasingly compromising situations. The girls were promised modeling contracts, social media verification, and connections to the entertainment industry. What they got instead was exploitation. The organizers knew exactly what buttons to push. They targeted girls from wealthy families, girls who had everything except the one thing they craved most: recognition. These weren't struggling teenagers looking for a way out. These were privileged young women who had become addicted to the attention economy. The competition started innocently enough: evening wear, swimsuit rounds, talent portions. But as girls progressed through the ranks, the requirements became more explicit. Lingerie rounds became mandatory. The promises got bigger, but so did the stakes. Winners were told they needed to prove their dedication through increasingly questionable challenges. What made this case particularly chilling was the sophistication of the operation. The organizers used encrypted messaging apps, cryptocurrency transactions, and deep web hosting services that made them nearly impossible to trace. They understood their targets perfectly. Teenage insecurity mixed with hormones and ambition created a perfect storm of vulnerability. The investigation uncovered evidence of massive blackmail operations. Once the organizers had compromising footage, they used it to force girls into recruiting their classmates. It was a digital age pyramid scheme built on exploitation and shame. Madison wasn't the only one who disappeared. 3 other girls from different states vanished within 6 months, their last known activities, logging into an encrypted chat room for what was supposed to be a final round of competition. The FBI's cybercrime unit worked tirelessly to infiltrate the network, but every time they got close, the organizers seemed to vanish like digital ghosts, only to resurface with new accounts, new methods, and new targets. They were always one step ahead. What's most disturbing is that despite all the resources thrown at this case, the masterminds were never caught. The dark web beauty pageant circuit went quiet for a while, only to resurface months later with a new approach, targeting different schools, different cities, but always the same type of girl: young, privileged, and desperate for validation. Madison Chen was eventually found 3 months after her disappearance, working at a diner in Arizona under a false name. She refused to talk about what happened during those months, and to this day, maintains her silence. The only thing she ever said about it was, "Some things are better left in the dark." The case files remain open. The FBI continues to monitor dark web activity for signs of similar operations, but the original organizers were never identified. Some speculate they were part of a larger human trafficking network. Others believe it was an elaborate scam run by former industry insiders who understood the psychology of ambitious teenagers. Today, Madison's story serves as a warning, but not everyone heeds it. Even now, in private school bathrooms and exclusive social clubs, girls whisper about secret messages and underground opportunities. The lure of fame, the promise of exclusivity, and the thrill of secrecy continue to draw young women into the shadows. The most frightening part? This could be happening right now in any prestigious school, to any teenager who believes they're too smart to be manipulated, too privileged to be exploited. The digital age has given predators new hunting grounds, and our children's desperate pursuit of validation has given them the perfect bait. The underground beauty pageant circuit may have gone quiet, but its ghost still haunts the dark corners of the internet. waiting for the next Madison Chen, the next girl who thinks she's special enough to beat the game. But in this game, there are no winners, only survivors and victims. And somewhere out there, someone is still sending those messages, still making those promises, still preying on the desperate desire to be seen, to be validated, to be chosen. The question isn't if it will happen again, but when and to whom.